like an elephant, but whatever. Oh, hey. So I wanna start off by asking a question. Um,
Okay.
did did you happen to see the Australian breakdancer at the Olympics?
Oh my God. The Australian breakdancer. Yes. She's popping up everywhere on my feed.
I mean, my God.
It's got to be a joke.
That's my theory too, is that like there's some kind of documentary, like joke documentary that comes out later where it's like, oh yeah, we did this thing where we snuck someone into the Olympics. And it's gonna be like Borat type thing.
Exactly.
Because there's just no way.
Mm, definitely not. And like, I mean, I haven't looked into it, but is she? I wonder if she's the only person from Australia competing in the
In
breakdancing section.
breakdancing, I would think so, yeah. Well, at least female. I don't know. She's got a PhD in breakdancing,
What the fuck?
whatever that means. Because I don't think that I don't I don't know how you can become a doctor
Was it
in breakdancing.
self-proclaimed?
I don't know. Apparently she like studied a lot of like dance stuff previously.
No, that can't be real.
I saw an interview with her before she went to the Olympics, and she was talking about how like she had studied for years and years about like rhythm and stuff like that, and then this was a new thing she was doing.
Fake.
I and then so like I don't really watch the Olympics, but some interesting things coming out of the Olympics this year. Um, including you saw the Turkish guy that was the shooter, right? Came in
Right, I
second
see.
place,
All the memes for that guy is funny.
and you saw the guy that got disqualified from pole vaulting because he hit the crossbar on the way down with his junk.
No.
No, you didn't see that yet. So there was a lot of replaying that in super slow motion for everyone,
Oh no.
and it's just wiener flopping everywhere.
What is going on at this year's Olympics?
I don't know.
It's fucking wild.
Apparently, that guy got offered $250,000 to do porn after that.
What?
Yeah,
Jesus.
which is more money than he would have made if he had won 2 gold medals.
Jesus.
Yeah. At that point, I'd just be like, yeah, okay. Of course, I'd do it in a French accent because he's French. Oui,
Oh,
oui, oui, oui.
this world.
Yeah.
This world is crazy.
So, anyway, it's been a little while since we recorded.
It has
So, how have you been?
been all right. Just trying to come to terms with the fact that I start teaching the kids on Wednesday, and my summer,
Boo.
my summer is over. So, yeah, I'm trying to accept it.
Blech.
I'm going through stages of maybe grief
And
for
yeah, with you got denial going on or anger.
yeah, for no more summer. And I was a bit bitchy for a while there. Just snapping for no reason at Nesta. I was like, Nesta's like, what did I do? What the fuck did I do? And I said, nothing. You did nothing. You literally did nothing.
And
Poor guy.
he's like, all right. And just walked away, probably. All
But yeah, I've also gone through a period of sadness where I have cried for my babies who are going to school again, and Aiden finally going to kindergarten. We just got his haircut today, a trim,
right. Okay.
getting ready for the first day of school.
That way
Got
nobody
all
can
there.
be like, you're a little girl.
Yeah, we got all their supplies. So we got their school supplies, got their new clothes. I feel like we're more ready than we've ever been for school to start. But I
but
also
not
feel like,
mentally.
yeah, maybe not mentally. So I feel like I'm forgetting something also. I just feel so prepared that I feel underprepared.
Well, you have another child, Alice, right?
Yeah, yeah, we got her
Okay.
stuff. We got her clothes too.
Okay, because it really just felt like you were only talking about the boys, and I was like, there's an older one, right? Like,
She doesn't count. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
apparently.
No, she does. I She went with me to school the other day. I was gonna be at meetings all day, but it was schedule pickup for the high schoolers, so she just hung out in my room until she could go
Mm,
down and get her schedule. And it was a whole ride thing, so if she didn't go with me, she probably wouldn't have ended up being able to go because anyway, so she was with me all day at work and I took her out to lunch and she was like, I was like, I'm excited. This is the fun stuff. She's like, this is the fun stuff. I was like, yeah, this going out to eat. She's like, the fun stuff? And I said, yes, you're like a teenager now. So I don't like take you to parks or anything anymore to go play. Like this right here is the fun stuff, going out to eat with my daughter and maybe going shopping. And she's like, when's the shopping though? And I was like, that doesn't matter. And she's like, but the shopping though, when is that? I was like, when we have money that we didn't blow on Disney for a certain 15-year-old. Anyways, I enjoyed my lunch with her. It was fun.
nice.
How was your week? Actually, how was your
Cool.
last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told you I saw Deadpool, and I saw Inside Out 2.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I was mad for a little bit because I thought that I was going to need to put my car back in the shop, but luckily it stopped doing the thing it was doing. So hopefully
I'm
that's a good sign.
Yeah, hopefully.
Um, uh, other than that, really, there's nothing really new going on. So nothing's really changed, man. Everything's always the same.
All right.
You ready to get into it?
I am.
All right. Hit him with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What M Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with,
Dustin.
and we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams.
Did you hear that snap when I
Mm,
said my name?
yeah, I did.
I
What
hurt
was
my own
that?
ear from doing that. I snapped my
What?
fingers, and then it was right next to my ear, and I hurt my ear.
I've never hurt
Anyway,
my own ears with a snap.
yeah, well, my snaps are legendary.
I guess.
Legend,
Something.
wait for it, dairy. I had so many dreams. Um,
That's good because I didn't have many.
really? Okay. I had some of the weirdest dreams and some of the really serious dreams too. We'll
Ooh.
just start back at the beginning, I guess.
All right.
Um,
Once upon a time.
so I don't think I've talked about this one. I think this is the last one I left off on. Um, but I was driving this person across Texas. So I was working, I was Ubering. Um, and we were going to a small town, and when I checked the GPS, I found that there were two cities uh in Texas with the same name. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then I saw that there was also a second version of my hometown, or my original hometown, Athens, Texas. Um, I don't really claim it, but whatever. Anyway, I saw there was a second one of those as well. Um, so one of the cities of the name I was going to, I can't remember what it was all the way on the border with the Gulf. And then when I found the other Athens, I drove to it, and I was like looking up all these crazy things about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I've got this other person that I'm supposed to be driving to their other city, and I looked up the person's name, and they had two addresses in both cities. And I was like, which one, bro? But he told me, and we started driving, and then he started like he just lit a cigarette in my back seat, and I was
What
like,
the
"You
hell?
can't smoke that in here. Like, there's not an ashtray back there, and like there's a policy of, like, no smoking. What are you doing?" And so I made him throw it out, and then I he asked me if I had ever smoked, and I explained to him about how like I have this physical aversion to smoke. Like it was a very real conversation that I've had with people about smoking. Um,
Interesting.
because like I just can't do it. Like when I was very young, my brother used to make me sneak cigarette butts for him. And then when he was smoking them, I was like, well, let me try it. And so I tried it, and then I wanted to puke afterward. And that was the moment I decided that my brother was stupid. Um, but then he asked about pot, and I explained that like I have nothing against people who smoke pot, but I don't smoke it. And then I basically said I've tried edibles before, and then that's when I woke up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was it. That was the whole dream. Like I was really hoping that the whole thing was going to go somewhere with the two cities, you know. But then
Yeah,
it was like my brain was like, "Oh, forget that detail. There's other stuff going on."
yeah. Like the smoking stuff is pretty important.
Yeah, yeah. But that was it.
You
That was the whole dream.
when he lit it up and you told him he couldn't smoke in you told him he couldn't smoke there, it reminded me of a scene in a show that me and Nessa have been binging recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene in the show called Yellowstone that
Oh.
we're watching where one of the it's like a main character. This woman, Beth, walks into a fancy bar and starts smoking. It's like a high end type of bar, no smoking loud type of bar. And she starts smoking, and then the bartender's like, "You can't smoke in here," and she doesn't care. And then she ends up she ends up like using that to get to the manager of the place, like the owner.
Oh.
He's like, "I'm gonna have to get my manager. I'm gonna have to get my own, the owner." And she's like, "Go ahead then." So I thought in your dream it was gonna lead somewhere, but it didn't.
No, it led zero
To,
places.
it led to more conversation about smoke.
Yeah. But it's funny because it's real conversations that I've had with people in my car about like smoking in general. I've never had to have someone put out their cigarette or anything like that. Most people are actually pretty respectful, but I do have a lot of people that get in just smelling of weed.
Hmm. So you have an aversion to the taste of it, and that's why you don't?
Uh, Regular cigarettes, like I can't smoke anything. Yeah,
Interesting.
like there's just a whole thing that I just can't do. Um, and it's from like when I was 6 years old. Yeah,
I've tried cigarettes myself before. I'm not a fan.
yeah, they're awful.
I think it's just, I don't know. I guess it's partially the taste, but partially because I just don't want to.
But it's funny too because we both have parents that smoke,
Yeah.
and of course Nesto used to.
Yep. Yep.
But you know what? I didn't even think about that till just now about Nesto because I had forgotten he even did. It's been so long now.
He has. Yep. He hasn't smoked in a long, long time.
It sounded like you were gonna say he had smoked like last week.
No. I was gonna say how long he's been, like smoke sober, but I don't know. It's just been a long, long time.
Yeah. So did you not dream anything or
I did. I wrote, I think maybe 1 or 2 down.
okay.
Let's see. Let me look. Oh, I forgot I dreamt this. Okay. Yeah, I guess it was just 2.
Okay.
Okay, I had one stupid dream. One of
All
them
right.
stupid.
I can't wait to
I
hear
It was actually last Saturday when I dreamt this because it was just after game night.
it.
So I dreamt it was the next D&D session already. And everything was like super mundane and normal. So it was like us sitting at the kitchen table and
Mhm.
me, you, Nesto, Brandon, Angel, and we're all just having conversation, hanging out, chatting before we started playing. So it was like completely normal. And then you guys brought up the fact that you didn't think Fernando's sword could turn off electrical charges because apparently in my dream, my mind thought that at the previous session, Angel was using his electrical sword,
Mhm.
but not using it with electrical damages. Does
Oh,
that make sense?
okay.
Like
Yeah.
lightning damage, I think. Uh, but that wasn't the case in real life. He didn't use that sword at all. He just used his gun the entire time. But my sleeping brain, in my dream, he had used the sword without using those charges. And so Dream Me was like, "Damn, that's a good point." And y'all were laughing at me saying, "Yeah, he can't just turn off the like it was you who fucking said this. You were like, he can't just turn off the electrical aspect to make it a regular sword." Like you were like, it still deals electric damage no matter what he wants to do. Like you know, no matter what he wants it to do. And I was like, well, damn. If that's the case, then we're gonna have to do that night's session all over again. And y'all were like, yeah, yeah, we should. And you were like, yeah, y'all were like, yeah, that won't be a problem. And I was genuinely surprised that y'all were prepared to do the entire thing again.
No.
Like the combat.
No. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
exactly. No, definitely not y'all for real.
No.
So yeah, that's all I remember in
Because
that dream.
I'm definitely not giving back experience that we also made from that. Like, because that would be like we'd have to just reset.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
but yeah, my brain made a great point. That was the moot point because it didn't happen. So I woke up. I woke up ready to like redo the session. I was ready to like take it all
Wow.
back and start again. And I was thinking to myself, "Damn, I'm stupid for letting Fernando do this." And then once the dream fog had cleared, I was like, "This dream was fucking dumb. I was freaking stupid. I got D&D on the mind."
Yeah. Well, we didn't play for a while, and then you were constantly playing with everyone else.
Yeah, with my fam and with Nicole.
And Jake Peralta.
Wouldn't that be something?
There was a video I watched of the Basement Yard guys,
Yeah.
and somebody said they give off real Peralta and Boyle vibes. And I was
Oh my
like, you know what?
gosh.
Kinda.
Maybe a little bit. I wouldn't say as extreme as Boyle, but
I don't know.
yeah, he's pretty clingy.
Frankie sometimes Frankie sometimes wants to like just full on make out uh with Joey. And it's just like, what is wrong with you, bro?
It's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that means that you've been prepping too hard with D&D.
Or it means I want to play more because I literally want to play more. Like I want to play more.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited about this Saturday too.
Are you enjoying DMing or would you rather go back to being a player?
I'm enjoying DMing. I want to get better at it.
Okay.
Which reminds me, I talked to the two women that I work with about doing that not alternative, doing a different session, a different campaign.
Right.
And one of them asked her husband, and she said the only hiccup that he has right now is deciding whether or not he wants to jump in and commit. And I was like, okay. I mean, there's cancellations all the time. Things happen, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. But the other woman said that she's actually going through some things right now and she won't be able to start like right away. So
Yeah. So
she's
it'd be a
still,
while before we.
yeah, it'll be a while.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, oh well. I have the campaign that I want to do with y'all already.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it easy and do this one that I'm doing with my family.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I might read a different one and see. So I was looking into a different one too. So much D&D stuff on the mind.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'm gonna try to explain what happened in the uh the dream I had this afternoon. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna tell you that I've never had my brain like stall making up the rest of the story until this. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Like
this
in
was a
dream?
weird dream. Yes.
Okay.
This was a weird dream that it went kind of all over the place. Um it started, I was in this hotel, and I was getting ready to leave, and I saw somebody that I know who was checking in, and I was telling them, "Hey, you should try this, uh, like this place that they have in the hotel to eat because it's fantastic. You should do that while you're here, and you should also like get like a massage." I was going off about like how great this hotel was.
Okay.
Um, and then I was leaving the hotel, and I was driving somebody else to the next place we were going, and it was some guy. I don't know who it was, but there was another group of people that we were meeting up with that had
Mm-hmm.
gone on ahead of us, and they had taken a similar route. So as we're driving, the guy says, "I think you should take." Weirdly, he says, "I think you should take 30 to 45," which makes sense for here, but we weren't here. We were somewhere else entirely. Um,
Okay.
and I said, "Okay, that all right, that makes sense." And so I, take these weird turns and stuff because roads don't make sense in your dream. I don't think. Um, and so we come to this, like, it's like a national park but with a cemetery in it, and we find out that the group that was ahead of us, who, by the way, had Corey from Boy Meets World in it, not the actor, the character, because in the dream he was Corey. He was in that thing, and we found out that that group had done something in this national forest before we got there that everybody who worked there said was super dangerous and they were very mad about. And I got out and I went to go talk to one of the people that worked there, and I said, "What happened?" And they said, "You should really talk to," and then they gave me two names, and it was something like Star and Delilah or something like that, some weird names. And I said, "Okay, well, who are they?" And they said, "Well, they're the people that own the place." I found out that they were conjoined twins.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know why, but they just were in my dream. And they were super upset about, what had happened with Corey and the other group that um, that had been here before, and they said that he did something super dangerous that put everybody else in danger. And I was like, well, what happened? And they said, well, you really should talk to this person. And they like pointed me to this other girl. And so I go over and I start talking to her, and she goes on this long tangent. Like, she's like, okay, I'll tell you. It all started, and then she starts telling me this long story about how she tried to hook up with some other guy, and and it goes on this like long montage of things that are going on until the end of it. I woke up during this montage, and it was like my brain was stalling to be like, what was the dangerous thing? What was the dangerous thing? What could we make up to be the dangerous thing that happened? Well, while we're thinking about it, let's tell him all this other stuff. And then I woke up going, well, damn it, what was the dangerous thing?
Jeez.
Literally, I could feel myself in the dream going, get to the fucking point. Like, what happened?
I like how you were like set on a side quest to go figure out what happened with some other chick.
Yeah. And the montage was horrible.
It was
And,
unskippable. You could not fast forward.
well, unfortunately, yes. And it was also something that, like, in SFW, because it was just like she was talking about all these escapades with different people, and
Oh,
like
geez.
it was just a montage of different things and or different, different positions and things like that. And I was just like, okay, just get to the point. I don't want to see all this.
That's funny.
And it never got to the point. I woke up and I was mad.
At your own brain.
Yeah, I was like, you really stalled because you couldn't think of anything.
Fucking idiot.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. What was the dangerous thing? I don't know. We didn't get that far. We thought he'd wake up by now.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe he saw a maybe there was like a bear problem and he covered everybody in honey or something.
I don't know. I don't
Like
think so.
what could be the dangerous problem in a national park?
I have no idea. And I'm still mad thinking about it.
Have you been watching Boy Meets World recently?
No, but I do listen to that Pod Meets World,
Yeah.
which, funny enough, the guy that plays Corey on the show isn't on Pod Meets World. And in fact, I think they've said that, like, he doesn't really talk to them anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
And
your mind wondering what he's up to.
I know what he's up to. He's been running for political office in, like, California. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
You said you had at least one more, right?
Did. I was going to tell you about something that was totally unrelated, and now I don't remember what it was. Oh, I was going to ask you. This has nothing to do with anything. Do you often think about what you would do in the event of an apocalypse?
It depends on the type of yes. Short answer, yes. And it depends on the type of apocalypse. Like, if we're talking nuclear, like, where did the bomb hit? Where did the bombs hit? Am I outside of the radius? Are we talking about zombie apocalypse? Are we just talking about, like, war that is, like, everywhere? Like, it depends.
Yeah, that's what I usually think about is zombies.
And so you've considered what your zombie plan would be?
Oh yeah, I mean that's like a normal thing to me. But like the other day,
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering myself, like, I mean, like, what good would I be to anybody during an apocalypse? Like, what could I offer in terms of like survival skills and whatever? And I'm like, nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing I could do. Maybe I could do like I said, the only thing that I could come up with is like the arts. I could story tell. I can sing. That's about it. Um,
There will be a place for you, Jester.
I was like, that's really all I got to give. Because I don't know like any type of like survival skills. Like building shelter, no skills in that.
Well, you could
Using,
cook, right?
I mean, I could cook. Yeah, we'd need to have something to cook though. I don't know. I could cook. But like tinkering with things to use electricity for purposes that would suit whatever group I'm with, like I can't do that. Yeah, I was like, the last thing I did come up with though is I could watch your children. I'd be a good children watcher. I can take care of a kid. But like, there would be little to no need for that, I think, because it's the apocalypse and nobody's going to be wanting to have kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess my skills would come maybe a little bit after, like they'd come in handy if I were to last quite a long time in an apocalypse. Like they wouldn't come in handy immediately because nobody's worried about art when you're trying to survive, according to Ernesto.
You don't think you could, like, fire weapons or anything like that?
I mean, I could, but I'm not like skilled with it.
Well, I mean, the majority of people in the apocalypse are not going to be skilled with weapons starting off.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
granted, people that have survival skills will probably be the people that, survive the longest.
Mm-hmm.
But if you team up with those people, then you're good.
Yes. If I team up with those people, I'm good to go as a burden.
No. And I mean, building a shelter is not really that hard. You're not talking about like building a house, You're just talking about building something that'll keep you out of the rain and out of the elements.
Oh no, man, because like I watch a lot of Naked and Afraid. Have you seen that show?
Mhm. No.
They build things, build shelters from the environment they're placed in, and it looks hard. It looks very difficult.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could probably throw things together, but I'm no engineer. Like, I don't know. I should, you know what I really want to do? What
What?
I would really love is to study plants and their practical usage, which I figured out over the
Ah,
weekend was horticulture.
you just figured that out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, if I ever go back to college and I want to get a whole nother bachelor's degree, another 4 years, I could get a bachelor's degree in horticulture.
Okay. Moving right along from that, I can't believe you didn't know horticulture.
Well, I thought it'd be
Ag-
like, what's the other one?
agriculture?
No, not like that. Like, yeah, botany. I thought it'd be a botanist, but apparently it's different.
Well, botany's more about like growing plants and plant identification in general,
Yeah, that's a
not about like
science.
their uses. Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that out this weekend when I did a quick Google. But yeah, I would just love to take a class in practical usage of plants and being able to like identify them growing or like I don't know. It'd be
You
cool to take a
know,
survival class like
you could
that.
probably just study that kind of stuff online for free.
Probably.
There's probably plenty of videos on YouTube. I watch tons of like survival stuff on YouTube.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. I watch
all the
survival
time.
cooking. Well, is that survival cooking? I guess I just watch cooking shows when they're cooking out in the wild. It's just camp cooking.
I watch survival cooking. It's MasterChef.
Now it's these guys like cooking at Riverside, and they're cooking by the fire on top of stones and stuff. But the shit they cook
Yeah.
look delicious. But
Well, I mean, you've probably watched Bear Grylls, right?
I used to.
I mean, that was survival. You
Yeah,
know,
it was.
you want to boil the snow and not eat it directly.
Elephant poo has many vitamins.
You just wrap it up and then you wring it out right into your mouth. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he did that.
You're reminding me of what's his name, Daniel Tosh, in one of
No,
his stand-up bits. Because at one point he talks about what's his name,
Bear Grylls.
uh, Bear Grylls, and he's just like, you know, first of all, you got to catch a bat, and he's like, what? You got to catch a bat? And he was like, no way. And he's like, he just snags it out of the air, beats it on the concrete, and then he just eats it. And he said, I bet the camera people are like eating granola, going, what is wrong with this stinky bread? And then he had another thing where he was actually talking about what we were talking about earlier in survival situations. He goes, in a survival situation, like the horde of zombies is like behind someone who is screaming, "Can you fly a plane?" You immediately say, "Yep," no matter whether you can or not. Just say yes, because if the answer is no, bang, you're of no use to me. And then you just say yes. You get in, you start flipping switches. Hang on, this one's a little different than mine.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, what was your dream? Your second dream? Did we do that one already? We haven't done that one yet, right?
Okay,
Okay.
my second dream, I dreamt that me and Ernesto lived back in our old house. Not our previous house, but our house before the last house.
So not the one by Minyard.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually pretty close to Minyard still, which is weird. Like, we lived right around the
Oh
block before
no.
that, so yeah. Anyways, we lived in that house, and in that house, we had a big back room, like a den,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like that was in real life, and this was also in my dream. But in my dream, it was filled like from floor to almost the ceiling with junk,
Oh
junk,
boy.
like hoarder junk, you know.
Yeah.
And it was bad all throughout the house. It was bad, and I think I was like trying to check out ceiling damage in that back room. So I was like climbing over junk to kind of take a look at the ceiling. Um, there was a hole in it, and someone was gonna come over and try to fix the hole. And so I remember trying to climb after I looked at the hole myself. I remember trying to climb out of it like I was swimming through it. It was that bad. I was like
Okay.
up to my freaking shoulders in junk, trying to like just wade my way through it. Um, and the guy arrived. It was all highly embarrassing as he was there trying to fix the hole. And so I think Dream Me was like, I'm gonna go busy myself with something while he's doing this. So I went to cook something in the kitchen while he inspected that hole. And while I was cooking, another fucking hole broke through the ceiling in the kitchen.
Oh no.
And I could hear fluttering through it, like wings, flapping wings, or maybe just rustling. I couldn't really tell. So I was freaking out in my dream, thinking that it was either bats or rats. And I yelled to my folks to
Either
come take
way,
a
it
look at it.
rhymed.
Yeah, rats or bats, brats.
Okay.
I yelled to my folks to come take a look at it. And as they were making their way to look at it, more ceiling fell down, and the hole got bigger. and it revealed like a bunch of missing items
Okay.
that were stuffed into the ceiling. You know, have you ever had a pet ferret?
No.
Okay, well, they're little thieves and they like to take things and hide them and stuff them in places. So I was
Mm.
like, oh, great. We got a big fat ass rat or ferret just taking things and storing them in the attic. This is why we're having holes because of all the weight of the things that they're storing out there. And I was just like, fuck, this is terrible. And so the guy made his way over to the new hole and he was looking at it and he started pulling shit down through the hole and it made the hole even bigger. And I just
Yeah.
remember being completely stressed out about it, and that's all I remember from that dream. Oh wait, no,
How long?
I it was not finished actually. I think I just stressed myself out of the house. Like it was a stress. What's it called whenever you disappear and reappear somewhere else? Teleport. I think I stressed
Stressed yourself out of
teleported.
English. Jeez.
I stressed myself out of into teleporting out of the house
Yeah.
in my dream. And
Wow.
so I was outside of my house, stressing, of course. I think I was actually smoking now that I think about it. It was a stress cigarette. I don't smoke. Like
I
so
know.
that was weird. Um and I remember one of Alice's little friends came up, like started walking up to me, and this was a house in the suburbs. She lived down the street in this dream, and she came over because of some sort of emergency at her own house, she said. And she said her mom told her to come to my house and that she wouldn't be over there for long and that her mom will pick her up in a little bit. Um, but she forgot her hairbrush. So first of all, I was like, okay, this is all very strange. Is everything okay? Is your mom okay? She's like, yeah, I mean, not really, but I need to stay here just for a little bit. And she's like, but I forgot my hairbrush. And I was like, okay, I guess. And she started walking off to go back to her house to get her hairbrush. And as she was leaving, I was like, but our house is a big mess, a huge giant mess. And she yelled at me that it was fine. And I was like, fuck. And that's the end of the dream.
Wow. Okay. Uh, do you remember if you had this dream um after all the problems with the air conditioner started, or
Yeah, it was after.
I wonder if that's what it was that like you were stressing so much about the air conditioner that like it was bleeding into your dream in a different way,
Yeah, that's probably it.
manifesting itself.
Yeah, man. I got many different things in the house that I'm stressing about. And
Yeah.
that was a big one, the AC.
Yeah.
But it seems to be, knock on wood, it seems to be fixed.
Who's there?
Cletus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, especially in this heat, you don't want that to keep going.
Yeah. Did Nissa
'Cause
tell
that
you
was
about the AC guy that he hired?
no.
Well, he hired a guy to come out and take a look at the AC. This was like I think he came out either Monday or Tuesday
Oh, okay.
of last week, and I guess he was a whole lot of a bit green around the ears
Uh,
because he said he took one look at it and his eyes went wide, and he ended up telling him like, man, I'm to be honest, I've never seen this before. Like I don't even know where to start. Because apparently they don't service the kind of motor that we have or whatever, and all the wirings that we did. He said pretty much the wiring of this AC was done like it was not jerry rigged, but it was built by someone here. Like somebody built that shit. So kid didn't know what to do. And this was like, well, I guess we're done talking then.
Jeez.
Yeah, so Nessa had to do a bunch of research and then figure shit out. So hopefully, with all the replaced wires and motors and belts, it'll do okay.
Hopefully. But no, like I haven't talked to Nesto much. Really, I don't think I've spoken to him since game night. I've sent him a couple of memes, but he hasn't even opened them, because that's how he is.
That's Nesta.
All right, so I'm gonna read one more, and
Okay,
I've got several more to go. But do you want a kind of scary one, kind of funny, kind of like interesting?
let's
Like
do
what?
scary.
Scary? Okay, that's my next one anyway. Okay, so this is kind of weirdly what we were talking about with like the apocalypse. Um, because I was in the middle of this event where people were being killed by what the news kept saying were demons,
Yeah.
right? And they were being killed in mass. Like people were running everywhere. There was like a lot of smoke or fog around everything, and
Mm-hmm.
like the Native Americans that lived near us had been like trying to warn people about this, but no one was listening to them. And I was actually being skeptical as well. But these creatures had like hands that were replaced with chains, and like
Interesting.
they would like whip them out, and they would whip people with them. Uh, but then like instead of the person like bleeding, it would cause these like really bright white lines to show up on them, and they would be like huge like welts, but in long lines, like scars,
Yeah.
but they'd be like really bright white. And I was convinced that it was some kind of hoax where like there was a large group of people using like some kind of gloves that they had glued chains to or like welded chains to,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like using some kind of paint or like caulk or something on the chains that were making the white lines appear on people. Anyway, I had parked in the path of what was like this oncoming uh horde, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I was getting out and I was like taking photos of the event as it was happening,
Oh,
and
geez.
yeah, and the ground started to kind of rumble, and I could see like a large group moving really fast towards me, and I was like, oh, this is a mistake. I should not be here. Uh, and so
No
I
shit.
got back in my car, and I I started to like peel out, and the swarm had kind of like caught up and was kind of overtaking me. Um, and while I was driving, trying to get back ahead of them, I looked in my rearview mirror, and there's this guy sitting in my back seat, and he's wearing this like really fancy like bowler hat, you know,
Okay.
bowler hat as in like not like a top hat, but sort of like that. Um,
Yeah.
you'll have to look it up, I guess. But then he smiled at me like really unnervingly, and that's when I woke up.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Right at the good part. Like, who is this man?
I know. I feel like it was the devil.
I feel like it was too. You
Yeah,
were about to have an interesting conversation too.
yeah, or an interesting death.
Yeah,
One of
one of
those
the
two.
two. I like how in the very beginning you said, like it was completely normal, and the Native Americans nearby. Like, what
Yeah,
made your mind come up with that?
I don't know. There was like I guess there was like a reservation near us or something
Oh.
near like where I lived, and they had been trying to convince like the town that hey, this is gonna happen. you guys need to leave. And
Nobody listened.
everybody was like, no, that's
And one of
just
you,
stupid. That's just stupid native lore.
and one
God,
person was like, "I'm gonna stay and take pictures of this."
I was skeptical, and then I was like, you know what though? This would make some pretty cool photos.
This fucking guy.
Well, because think about it. Like, it's just like those people that are like wartime journalists, right? You get out and you take photos right in the action,
Yeah, apocalypse time
and then you get killed. And that's what
photos.
happens.
Yep. But you took good photos though.
I don't know. I never got to see them. I wish I had, though.
And that has Black Mirror episodes written all over it.
I don't watch Black Mirror, so like I've never actually watched anything other than like the first episode, and I didn't like the first episode, so I didn't watch the rest of it.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody who watches it, I tell don't skip the first episode. But there's this. I guess it's a new. Well, I guess the newest season of Black Mirror. There are two episodes in particular that your dream reminded me of,
Okay.
and one of them was an apocalypse type um dream, not dream episode, and another one was a paparazzi type episode.
Okay. I might try to watch it again,
I think
starting
you
with
need.
the second episode.
I think yes. Please watch the last episode of the recent season. None of them are related, by the way, so you can watch out of order.
Yeah, just the first episode, like, I don't know. I hated the whole thing with like the pig and everything, and I was just like, ew, gross.
Yeah, that was gross. But definitely check out the last episode. I think you will like it. And plus, I'm dying to
Okay.
talk to somebody about it. So yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Huh?
so real quick before we get into recommendations, um, I never have watched like Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I might start watching it. I
Why
saw
is that?
a clip the other day that made me laugh so hard, and it was Goku in the middle of like town, and he's talking to Master Satan or whatever his name is,
Okay.
and he's like, "Hey, I forgot my change of clothes, and I can't fly off in front of all these people." He's like, "So I need you to punch me really hard, and I'll take care of the rest." And the guy punches him, and Goku goes, "Ah, ah," and he starts flying over the crowd. And then as he flies off, he dips down and he goes, "I forgot my tractor." Ah! And he goes and he picks up this tractor and flies over the wall. And I was like, what?
That sounds ridiculous.
It does sound ridiculous. It was pretty ridiculous looking, and I was just like, all right, I might give the series a shot if it's that stupid.
I've been thinking of possibly trying to watch it secretly and then just casually dropping things here and there to
Like
Ernesto
like
that
little
I shouldn't
references.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, it looked pretty funny. So anyway, I think we did it. So now we
We
gotta
did
move
it.
on to recommendations.
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 All right. Do you have anything prepped for recommendations?
I do.
You do?
I do.
All right. Go ahead then.
I'm going to recommend a series that um I haven't watched fully, but I'm in the middle of. I think I'm only on season 2, maybe 3 of Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to recommend Yellowstone. And basically, it centers around this family. They are called the Dutton family who own the Yellowstone Ranch. Kevin Costner he plays in this. He is Mr. Dutton, the father, the current owner of the ranch, and he is, let's see, I don't know how many generations of his family has run the ranch, but many generations of his family have run the Yellowstone Ranch, and it encompasses a large area of Montana, super stupid large. And
Yeah.
so the show is about the trials that his family goes through trying to keep this ranch in the Dutton name. In the show, he's got 3 adult children who help him maintain the ranch. And he's also got many different ranch hands who help him maintain the ranch. So it follows along his family and the ranch hands. That's what this show follows along with. And there are so many things that happen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to say more for fear of spoiling things, but it's really engaging so far. The character development is pretty on point. I'm liking it. I already have a favorite character. His name is Rip. And
Okay.
yeah, I never thought I'd like a series. I never thought I'd enjoy a series about like almost it's not the Wild West, but like I never thought I'd enjoy a series as much as I would that has to do with like the country and owning a giant, you know, gigantic plot of land.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
totally out of genre for comfort for me. But what gets me I think is the plot and the character development. So if you like a good strong plot and good strong characters, then definitely give this show a try. You might be pleasantly surprised and hooked.
all right.
Yeah, check it out.
I've definitely thought about watching it because I do like Kevin Costner, and they've already announced that his character is not coming back to the show. By the way, uh, he left the show because he was working on that movie that did very poorly in the box office.
Mm.
Which is what is it called? It was called Horizon: An American Saga Chapter One,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which was a western as well.
I'm gonna
Um,
watch that.
but they're supposed to be making a Chapter Two, but it was supposed to come out this month.
Mm.
They've decided that they're going to hold off on doing that until after the first one is out on streaming and see if it like catches an audience on streaming, and then they'll decide what to do with Chapter Two. Um,
It's going to catch me.
Yellowstone Yellowstone is available on
Peacock.
what? Peacock. Okay.
Yeah, and there are going to be many spin-offs. So far, there's already 2 spin-offs, and a third and a fourth are in the works.
Well, there's one. It's like 1889 or something like that, or something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, I
Um.
think it's 1883 or 1886, one of the two, and then 1920 something, or
Okay.
maybe 30 something.
Interesting. Yeah, I do want to see it. I just haven't gotten a chance to.
Definitely check it out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go somewhat controversial with my
Ooh.
recommendation. Uh, Only because it is currently in theaters. Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right.
The movie is so good. Uh, and it's not for all audiences because it's obviously it's Deadpool. So there's a lot of cussing, there's a lot of violence, um, there's a lot of dirty innuendo. Uh, but my God, the movie it might be my favorite Deadpool film.
Nice.
Yeah. And I will not say anything else about it because I don't want anything to be a spoiler. Um, I don't know. There's just so everyone is aware, stay off social media because I've seen a ton of spoilers on social media already for the movie. So
Yep, I'm
if you
trying to
can,
avoid them.
Yeah, if you can, avoid them as much as possible. Ryan Reynolds is posting spoilers, and I'm like, dude, your movie just came out. Chill. But yeah, go see it. Go see it. It's already making a lot of money, but support it. Support it a lot.
All right, check it out.
All right, well, I think we did it.
We did it.
We did it. Yay.
Yay. Hit him with the outro, Dustin.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Dum-ba-dum.
Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our Patreon tier that we have. It's $5. And that just helps to keep the channel running.
Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible.
And you can find us on the socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I don't think we have a Facebook. Anyway, we're on YouTube.
It'll be in the works. Email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com. Feel free to send us your dreams that we can talk about.
Yeah, and then we can judge you for it.
And enjoy, and a little bit of judging, yeah.
All right, well, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you again. Bye.
Bye.